I killed you. You're gonna stay dead for a little bit, and then I'm just gonna run through.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
Wow, you're so good at this coaching thing, Butter. Okay, let's do this. Where are we going?
Okay, so we're gonna go. So for instance, okay, so I was just watching your stream right now,
Right.
like while you're playing Inferno,
Uh-huh.
and I think the basic thing about the most advantageous thing in CSGO is it's called the peeker's advantage. So what that means is basically in CSGO, if you're holding a tight angle like this, or not even a tight angle, but a wide angle like this, I'm at like, I mean, I can't put it numerically, but if I were to, I'd be like at a slight disadvantage to the guy that's gonna wide peek me here. Okay?
Right.
Because my reaction won't be as fast as him peeking me wide.
Because he could pre-fire too.
And shooting. Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And it's not even if he didn't pre-fire me, in CSGO, it's just the way the models move. The person that's moving and is on the offense will generally always have a slight edge over the person that's holding an angle and playing defensively.
Okay.
So that's why you see CS as a very fast-paced game where people are always constantly moving and being aggressive. They're always on the offense because they want to dictate the pace of the attack, right?
Right.
To put it simply.
Okay.
So that's why, so for instance, there was a few moments for you when, hang on, let me grab Timo's dog.
The squeaky dog toy! Turn her up. I literally have it on max right now.
My team fucking hates it when my dog is sitting behind
the squeaky toy.
With the squeaky toy. And I feel so bad for him.
I think
like,
it sounds like a cat crying to me, so...
Okay, so for instance, there was some moments here when you knew that the enemy was here, but what's happening from what I'm seeing is that you're hesitant to take on this guy, right?
Right.
So it's like a kind of like a half-ass peek where you're just kind of like, you know, you don't want to like expose your body to give him a free kill, but at the same time you kind of want to do some damage and like hit him.
I get scared.
So that kind of play, it is effective in some forms, but most of the time you're gonna find more success in 1v1 duels if you just completely commit to that angle, right? So for instance, if you know that some guy is here holding your angle, you know he's here, he shot a few bullets at you, it would be best for you to wide peek, like come swing out all the way, crouch and shoot instead of like, unless you're a god, and I mean unless you're just like going for a one tap like surprise pick, and obviously if he has an op and you want to be really like careful, that's fine. But in most cases, if you're in a 1v1 duel, you're gonna want to wide peek, commit to the angle, and spray. So what you'll see a lot of pros do is they'll swing out and be spraying, and they just constantly hold their strafe while crouching. Because one thing about CS is if you're crouched like this and you're moving, strafing left to right, your accuracy is still the same, regardless.
Oh, really?
Ever stop? Yeah, you don't ever have to ever stop. So that's one good thing. That's one really OP thing. I
actually didn't know that. That's
cool. You're able to do that. So for instance, if I see an enemy coming at me here and I'm peeking, I'm gonna crouch and I'm gonna spray. Well, I got blocked here, but I'm gonna spray and crouch and just keep moving. And it's gonna throw his aim off, but at the same time, it's gonna allow me to better control my spray, right? So, but bottom line is basically you always want to just commit to the fight. Like you don't want to be in that like weird moment where he's taking some damage, you're taking some damage, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, who's gonna win this? You know, like it's like really ass clenchy, right? So you just always want to keep in mind that the more you dictate that fight, the more you're gonna be in an advantageous position because you're dictating like your movements. You're not reacting to him. You're being more proactive about it. So it just gives you the edge over that person. Now, obviously, in 2v1s or 2v2s, it's a bit different. But this is purely for a 1v1 scenario.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, if you know that it's a fair 1v1 fight, and that's what CS is all about, right? It's creating opportunities for your players and your team and yourself to have that 1 versus 1 battle so that it's a fair 50-50, and then you do things to give you that slight edge to where it's no longer a 50-50, it's like a 51, percent in your favor, right? So that's what you're going for, is you're constantly finding those 1v1s and creating openings for your team so that you can win it. At least in competitive anyway.
Yeah,
right?
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like if you're warming up or you're in an aim map or something and you want to, warm up, I would say really try to control your spray. Always aim like a little bit below the head is where I aim, like around the neck area, and then just let your recoil work the first 3 shots and then move it down, and then in the middle of that even crouch and then spray. So we do this. Oops. Okay, so you want like all your bullets to be in the same area, so just practice the crouch strafe thing. I think it's super
the crouch
OP.
strafe thing. Okay.
Yeah, the crouch strafe.
I've actually never heard of that. I've always been told like I don't want to be, like once they're my target, I don't really want to be moving. But that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's pretty OP if you just crouch spray. It's really OP actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so try to work on that, and then really. The main thing is especially at the lower ranks, is that these guys are I can't stress this enough. These guys are fucking scared. Like,
yeah.
If you just try to have that mindset when you go into a competitive, that you don't care, like 0 fucks given it, literally, because if you play scared, then it's gonna directly translate to your gameplay. And if your gameplay is playing scared, then it's gonna be really like back and forth, like it's a tug of war where there's no really advantage to over your opponent. It's just like back and forth, because you don't have that advantage in the duels. But if you don't play scared and you just,
I see, that's what is so hard for me. Like I think like my biggest obstacle is my fear. And I don't like making the entry frags. I don't like peeking first. I get so, like, when I know that everyone's running into the site and I'm supposed to be holding it, I get more nervous. But as soon as I calm down, I'll usually.
It's okay to not go in first. Not everyone is an entry fragger. I mean, there's some people that are. I'm not an entry fragger for my team either. Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, it's you can use your strengths and figure out what you like to do and use that mostly in games. So if you don't like to go in first, that's all right. Bait the shit out of your teammate. That's okay to do. It's a legitimate strategy, but you want to make sure that you're able to trade that kill. So no matter what you do, if you're gonna bait properly, like for instance, if you have a mate in front of you, don't ride his asshole, because your chances of you guys getting doubled and lined up is pretty high, right? So you want to listen for where the shots are coming from, bait him, make sure you're in a good position to trade it, and then afterwards understand that the recoil on that opponent is probably effed, or he's low on bullets, especially with the silenced. You don't have that many bullets. So now you at that point when this guy dies, that's when you're gonna want to like YOLO in there and fucking clean him up or whatever,
Yeah.
Because if you're baiting your opponent and then you sit back, the problem happens when you're just like, oh shit, he died later, and so that's when you wanna...
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. I like that. I like that advice that you can bait as long as you're gonna commit to trade after.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. So are you can you show us the best angles for T and CT, both sides? In your opinion, on this site or map?
Sure. Okay. So for B, literally the most OP spot at B on Inferno is emo or triple or emo over here. It's sitting like having like an off ang like this and waiting for because if you think about from a T's perspective, when they're coming in, they're literally worrying about this, and this, like so many different spots that they're worrying about. So this guy is paranoid as fuck. once he gets to this point here, if no one's shot him, he's certainly not going to come in looking like this. He's going to come into the site looking here, here, and here. And that's why you want to have like an off angle, like such as this, like this, and you have a slight opening here so that you see his body coming in, and
but
then
you're not shooting it.
Exactly. You're not shooting him from here. You want to shoot him from at this point here.
I like that.
That's literally a free kill every time. Every time that's a free kill. And then the trick is because you might dispense too many bullets getting this one kill. And that's okay. The point is to move around. So you get this one kill. Maybe you get lucky and you get 2 kills. But while reloading, go behind this pole and just kind of like dry hump the backside of it. Like go back and forth like this. So like if you just sit here like this reloading, you can't see anything. You don't see your enemy. But if you go like this while reloading, you're going to actually see them.
And know where you need to peek and shoot after reloading.
I mean, they might get a randy-ass headshot on you, and that's okay. I mean, it happens. It's CS, it's random. But the chances of them getting a headshot on you while you're moving like this fast, like, it's pretty low, you know? So
would you be worried about the guy coming to your right, though, like past oranges, or no?
No, because generally, if you kill one here, I mean, of course, I can talk about this all day long, but
but every situation's different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different every time, and sometimes going to this pole is not optimal.
Well, but I think that's good too, because that's something that might not be expected, especially like at the lower ranks like me.
Exactly.
That they would probably expect me to go in emo too, and then they would just spam fire that. But you're kind of safer behind the pole there. That's cool.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's not spammable, so you're safe. Just literally sit back here, reload. Get a few shots off, and then even like full-on run around. That's the thing is, like I said, if you're moving and you're not pushing shift and you're fast moving, you always have the advantage. You can dictate how you play. Don't react to them coming into your sight by playing passively or by getting scared and pushed back. Like
because then they have the advantage.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And then you're retaking your own site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another good thing to do is, I mean, generally, B on Inferno is pretty. It's pretty standard how you want to play it. I mean, if you have full utility, you want to try to hold on to it for as long as you can. A pretty neat smoke. Like, there's 2 pretty neat smokes you guys can try out. There's one here. You just sit here like this, literally staring all the way at the ground with your smoke primed. And then as soon as you hear anyone close to you by a car, you just release it there, and then you walk to your left to here, and you just sit here. And you can see perfectly, but they can't see you.
Really?
So
they can't see you there?
Nope, they cannot see you.
Oh.
They can't see you at all. So you just walk over to this point here.
Yeah.
And then you just hold this aim for like a few seconds, and then you can walk back. The key is you always want to be walking, right? You don't want to give up your position. So it's a pretty cool one way. Another one way is you can come here.
I know there's a car one.
Yeah, and then you just aim at the very bottom part of here. If you look here, there's a little dark thing. It's really hard to see.
Yeah.
But the dark thing, you want to aim to the far left corner, right here.
Okay.
Put your cursor there, and just release. You just stay here, go in the corner, crouch, aim right there. Just release, and then you want to walk out, and if you jump on top, if you just sit here at the wagon, or you can even jump, they can't see you.
Whoa. Okay.
But when you're jumping, you want to make sure you push shift when you jump. Because
so you're not stomping around.
Exactly.
Right.
You always want to be pushing shift when you jump. Even if you push crouch, they can hear it. So you always want to push shift and jump, and they can't hear you.
Do you have jump bound to your mouse wheel?
Yes, I do.
What is your space bar?
Nothing, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, my space bar is nothing. It's just my mouse wheel that's binded.
Okay, cool.
So a couple of my teammates have space bar as their in-game talk, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like a huge, easy button to press, so that might be nice.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So those are two cool one ways, but I mean generally the way you want to play B is pretty standard. You want to delay them for as long as possible, throw your smokes here at the choke points. It's a really small choke point.
Yeah.
And then once you're out of nades is when you want to come here. I mean you don't want to come here in the very beginning of the round and sit here. You want to create some pressure.
Get some damage on them.
Exactly,
really,
yeah.
If you can.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like, you know, create a presence at this choke point. Let them know that they can't just come in for free.
Yeah.
And then once you're low on utility or you have none at all, then you want to take a little more passive angle and like sit back here like this.
Okay.
So this is going to be your last spot to go to. But generally, towards the end of the round, this is where you want to end up so that you can ensure that you win the round.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
That's B. Now, if you're a terrorist and you're attacking B, there's a couple things you want to do. Is that if you have the optimal spawn and you're here, so let's say you're in a matchmake, you're in a competitive, and you have the best B spawn, which is like here or here. These are the two best B spawns that you're gonna have. Okay. If you have these B spawns, then you're gonna tell your team, hey, I'm gonna take B fast. Hey, can you come with me and just HE nade car? You just tell this guy to buddy up with you and this guy to buddy up with you.
Right.
Both of you guys. These guys are going to HE nade car, and this is generally how you're going to want to take it.
They're going to what car?
HE nade car. So grenade the car.
Okay.
So let me...
HE nade? What is that term?
grenade? A grenade? Throw a grenade? I don't know. What do you call it?
HE? Why HE?
HE? I don't know.
Like the letters?
Yeah, the letters HE. Am I wrong? I might be foreign right now. I don't know. HE, that's what I've always called it. HE nade.
Oh, high explosive.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I was like, why is that? Okay.
Okay, so you want to, yeah, the HE grenade, and then,
I thought you were saying achy. Like it was like some sort of like special word. Okay, I got it now. Grenade. Yep. Alright, we're gonna nade banana.
Okay, well, it's understandable. It's because in 1.6, it was spelled out HE grenade, whereas in CSGO, it's actually spelled out
high explosive grenade. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that right away. Alright, okay.
No,
we're good.
Right. So generally, banana is a spot that you don't want to contest unless you have the optimal spawn to do so. Okay, so
because otherwise it's too easy of angle to hold, or
exactly.
All
well,
right.
because then you're just gonna get naded to shit, and then you'll already be at a disadvantage. And especially if they're winning, then they're gonna start pushing you and just manhandling you over at banana. You don't want that. So if and when you have the optimal spawn to take it is when you want to take it.
Okay.
Now,
so how would you take it?
So if I'm number one, I'm gonna have my my HE nade ready to go. Another thing is you want to make sure you're taking advantage of your spawn. So
in your corners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't leave spawn like running into fucking walls, or like leave spawn at too late. Like as soon as the timer runs, you want to go because this is a game of milliseconds. Like, there's no time to fuck around, right? So you get here, and then at this point, you have your HED prime.
Right.
And you're gonna aim at the top portion of this pillar and just release.
Right.
Okay. And after you release that, you're gonna jump over to the logs area, and from here I like to molly the entrance. Okay.
Does that hit the corner or just
so
past
it's gonna land right here.
Yeah.
Okay? What this is gonna do is this is gonna let this guy
any slow B people know that you're coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then generally they're gonna fall off of it, or they're gonna get mollied and they're gonna push out of it. Right. And these are the two things you want, because not only are you HE nading car, but there's two other of your mates that are going to be nading car with you, right? So that's going to slow them and put damage on them. And then at this point, as you're here throwing the molly, you're going to jump out and you're going to swing crouch spray, okay? So,
right after you throw the molly.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you're pre-firing that, like you're pre-aiming. You're not gonna come out here.
Are you assuming that the HE nade pushed them off car then?
Yeah.
Like, and they'd go lumber or corner? Okay.
Exactly. The only two places they're gonna be is here, here, or here.
Right.
Right. So those are the only two places they're gonna be, and you have the advantage. Like as long as you YOLO through this and you have a optimal spawn, the chances of you coming out on top is very high. And even if you don't, your teammates should be able to trade that with you. Now, if they don't, then don't ever do this again. If your teammates are like fucking pussies, which you might run into, and they just bait you and you die, and when you're trying to like be a team player, then don't do that. You know, because I mean, you can't force like everyone on your team to be like good at the game.
They can't.
Right?
They won't strong mode like us.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you run into this situation and you're trying to be really good, you're trying to like be teamworky and like you know, whatever, and
But you're in
just doesn't work out,
matchmaking and nobody is.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's a solo queue, right? So
Yeah.
you have to face the reality of things is that it's not always going to be
Perfect.
you know, exactly.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then just come here in mid. So if that's the case, then every round, just literally come mid, HE nade mid, get into this. We call this Viet Cong. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
Mexi Pit, Viet Cong. Come here, HE nade mid. Just pre-fire this thing, and just sit here. Literally, sit here, crouching up and down like this, so that you don't get spotted constantly, and just wait it out and listen and see what your teammates are doing. Okay.
Right.
And at this point, you have two options. You can either go back into banana or you can go mid. Now, depending on what your team is doing, you can react off of that. Okay? If your team isn't doing shit and they're just waiting for you to do something, then that's fine. Just let them know that you're going to go up mid and scope it out. And basically, you want to just either draw out their nades or get an opportunity pick. And honestly, it's okay to pre-fire every angle. It's just that you
even
don't
with the A1 though. Are you not like? Would you
Yeah.
ever be worried that you keep pre-firing and then you got nothing left?
No, yeah, I would still even pre-fire, but we're
Okay.
talking about T side, so
Yeah.
generally you'll have an
Oh
AK.
right, an AK. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally you'll have an AK, and you can pre-fire. And again, don't come peek this angle walking. Don't come like this, like half like super scared like this, because they're gonna have the advantage then. But if you come out of this angle like this, like with conviction, you know, like coming out like you know this motherfucker's here and you're gonna kill him.
He's like
this,
ah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have that advantage. So make sure, and even if you know he's opping, literally if you just come out, spray, like crouch, peek, spray, I promise you, it's gonna work out. You're gonna get a kill one time doing this by fully committing and pre-firing, and then you're gonna just know, like it's gonna click, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, like I'm a god, you know? So yeah, and then
no, but then you get confidence, they lose confidence, and then it just the tilt. All right, cool.
And then really on T side generally, the couple nades that you want to be able to throw. Again, this is solo queue, so it's really hard to coordinate these kinds of things with you know, random people. But I mean, if you do have an opportunity to, and you'd be like, hey, you guys have smokes? Okay, can you smoke this or whatever? The best CT spawn smoke to throw is just above the chimney, above the black pole. A lot of people aim at the black power line, but if you aim above it, it actually blooms faster in CT spawn.
Oh.
So that's a good thing.
Okay.
Okay. A good molly to throw. I mean, this is even if you're alone and you're wanting to rush B, you could just come here, line up with this, just aim to the left of this pole here, and just release. And as you release, you just run really fast through here, and then you're gonna expect.
And they're pushed out of new box,
That's
or
embarrassing. I just missed. Yeah,
okay.
and they're pushed out of new box. I don't know how I missed. Okay, there we go. God, that was embarrassing. If I missed that during practice, that would have been fun. Okay, yeah, and then at that point they're gonna be pushed out. At like, the timing should be that if as soon as it blooms, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm on fire, motherfucker!"
Yeah.
And they're like running this way.
But you're already there. You're
exactly.
already there shooting.
And you're like,
and then they freak out even more.
Exactly. And then
they hide an emo, and then you HE nade it, and then they're dead. Boom.
Yep. So those are some cool nades. I mean, you have this full one, but really, you're probably never really even gonna throw this like in a solo queue. But that lands right there. It blocks off all of garden and spool.
Right.
A cool. This is actually this is a pretty neat smoke. You could. I don't know. Do you want me to go over smokes or?
I like smokes.
Like
Chat. Do you like smokes? I like them. I don't actually. I know a lot of the Mirage ones, but the Inferno I'm slacking. I just throw them. I did a lot of physics in high school and university, so I throw them the way I think they're gonna go. But
You know what?
doesn't always work. But
you know what? Like when you get, if you ever, get more competitive, then that's really dope because a lot of people, like deady ass people, they'll go into servers and they'll find new smokes. Like they'll be like, oh, well, the trajectory of the nade will go this way and this way, and then they'll figure that shit out, and it's really dope. So,
okay, looks like everyone wants you to keep doing smokes. So
okay, cool. So this is called the VG smoke. This was
VG.
Well, it's generally known as a VG stands for Very Games. They were a really strong source team. It's pretty much Envious right now. Team Envious. They were called Very Games back in the day. They like innovated this smoke, so everyone calls it the VG smoke.
All right. Oh man, they are in history now because of something they created.
History lessons with water.
Yeah. Okay.
But basically, you line up with the very edge of this haystack here.
Okay.
And the point of this smoke is to allow your teammates to come out of halls and YOLO jump into the big pit at A without getting shot at from sight, right? So so this will be really cool if you're in a solo queue and these motherfuckers are like hitting
like a waterfall, you mean? Wait, out of halls into jump into pit.
Yeah, so basically the smoke will bloom and you're gonna tell your mates, hey, like, you guys just run out of halls as soon as I say go, 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 right? And then they're literally just gonna jump out and just like YOLO jump into the big pit.
And be fine. And take out pit. Okay. Yeah. So let's see it.
Smoke is gonna land right here.
So it's the
basically
third left side of hay bale, third strut.
Your teammates
and you don't jump, or you did jump?
No, you don't jump. And I just missed it, so I'm really bad. Basically, I have left-hand model, so it's actually hard for me to explain the lineups because right-hand model is really different, and I know you use right-hand model.
Yeah.
So for me, this is the lineup that I use. I'm not sure
for the
what
left-hand
it looks like
model. And they're really different?
Oh! Well, no. For you,
so
it's
this
gonna look the same.
Oh, I see. Okay, so make a point of that, everybody. Okay, I like that. And is that tree always going to be there? Can you use that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the tree will always be there. And it's supposed to land right there inside the truck.
That is so cool.
And then it blocks off all of these things.
Yeah.
So the only thing you have to worry about is this guy on the balcony.
Yeah.
And jump out and then YOLO through. That's called the VG smoke. It's used quite a bit. So and even yeah, so that's the VG smoke. I mean, two smokes you can throw from this corner is a lane smoke that goes right here. So basically, you want to go in between the chimney and the corner of this roof to the height of the chimney. So just right there.
Right.
Just release. Okay, that's gonna smoke lane. And then for a wrap, you go to this pillar here, just go slightly to the right of it and release. And these are two really solid smokes for lane.
Oh, so you don't need to push up mid to smoke left or right. That's nice. Alright.
So, and they're like perfect smokes.
Can you do those one more time each?
Yep.
Okay. So the edge of the brick?
So right here, yep, it's gonna stop you in this corner. You aim the height of the chimney right in the middle.
Okay.
Release.
And then
that's for the lane one.
Yeah.
And then this one, you just aim at the corner of this roof and just go slightly to the right of it.
Right.
Almost the height, almost like lining up with this wood thing, and just release.
Cool.
Yeah, so those are two pretty good.
Yeah, because I always like running up mid, you gotta like especially when you're running, to like throw the smoke down mid and then have it go towards boiler or left side. It always has like a peeky hole, and then that just screws everyone over. That's what I'm really good at doing, is like messing up my smokes so like the other team can see and my team trusts it. And so okay, cool.
Or like, let's say, I don't know, you can ask one of your teammates to smoke lane and he could throw like some shitty smoke lane like that. Yeah. And then you could smoke arch without getting exposed. You can come here and just aim right here at this corner of the roof.
Uh-huh.
And you
Wait,
just
what did you line up behind you?
Just right
The
underneath
middle
this
of the
vent.
lower radiator?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The grayer vent, you just line up right at the bottom of it. Aim your crosshair right here in the corner of the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And just release. You don't move or anything. You're still
And
standing.
so that smokes. Oh,
Arch.
cool.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
that's gonna perfectly smoke arch, so that if one of your mates can smoke this, and then then you can either fight library off, or you can even. But again, this is solo queue, so all of this will be pretty hard to do.
Yeah. Well, I like to queue with friends too, so I can
Okay.
I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
work
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, so a cool library smoke is you just make this wall flush. You can go. Oh, actually, no, this is the wrap smoke. So the library smoke is like this. You aim to the height of the clouds. So here's the antenna.
Right.
So the lineup
So
is.
the clouds
you're
never
looking
change?
here. No,
That's
these clouds don't change. No.
Yeah. Okay.
So you line up with this antenna with the corner of this wall.
Right.
So that you're like that. You aim at, you aim at the cloud, and you just release.
Smoke.
And this is gonna smoke off your library.
Ooh. Wow, Potter,
So-
you're so fancy. Holy crap.
So you basically you have 3 smokes here. That one, and this one
Right.
for lane.
Then you
and
can
then-
do a wrap.
Yeah, and then you can come into wrap. And then if you're hella fancy, you could even have the big pit smoke.
Big pit
This is-
smoke.
You just go in the middle of the wagon here, and you just aim right here, like the. So you aim from here to here, and right in the
Right.
here,
Right.
and you just release, and then that'll have big pit smoke, so that when you come here,
You can
all
clear
you
sight
have
in
to worry about-
graveyard.
Yeah, it's graveyard
Oh.
sight. with some freedom. Yeah.
Hello, fancy. Can we get a fancy spam in chat? That's really cool. So if you, yeah, this will obviously be something that, as a team, you guys would actually use all those.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, in solo queue, really the only smoke that, if you were to solo queue, I think the only smoke that would be really effective is these mid ones, so that
Yeah.
you can go and try to go for a pick yourself. I mean, you could even be in Viet Cong. So let's say, I told you, if your teammates are baiting you and they're not doing shit, you can come here and just wait. If
Right.
nothing's happening, you could even sit here, line up your smoke like this.
Uh-huh.
This is gonna smoke off your lane, and then after you throw that smoke, come
So
up.
lane is truck side, right?
Yeah, bounce
Okay.
off a flash. Your smoke is bloomed, and then you can clear mid yourself.
Oh ho ho ho! Providing they're not in boiler.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they shouldn't be, but even
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Porch
they
is more
should.
likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I mean, you could even YOLO it through as a T, like come alt mid, run all the way through, get to this point here, throw a flash off, and just YOLO.
So
through
that
mid.
flash was just on the turret?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
cool.
you're gonna get to this point, throw a flash off like that. It's gonna
Yeah.
land behind you. Sometimes it's gonna go over the roof here, the trajectory, and then it's gonna bloom like right here, like in the air.
Yeah.
But either way, it's still an effective flash. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. Oh my gosh, I feel like I could just take A any day. Okay, how do we hold A?
Okay, so to hold A, I mean, it depends. Let's just see what you like to do. Where do you like to play at A if you were to play A?
I play cubby side usually.
Cubby side. So here?
Yep. But not
Okay.
in cubby, but like I'll play
Yeah,
either
wrap-
from arch or library or cubby or corner.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So how I play cubby or rep side is generally I play pretty aggressively. So in the beginning of the round, I'll always come mid. Sometimes if I have a really good spawn,
Mm-hmm.
like if I have a spawn anywhere from here, I will stay here and I'll just YOLO run through mid, get to this point here, cross really fast, and see if I see anyone. If I see anyone at T ramp, then I'll run all the way back around and go all the way back to ramp. If I don't see anyone, then I'm gonna go walk in here
And
and
peak
then-
alts.
and peek ult. But
Yeah.
you only shoot literally like 2 or 3 bullets. You're not going for a kill. If a kill is given to you because you get lucky, fine, take it. But you're not committing to that kill because chances of them punishing you for it is pretty high.
Yeah.
So really you're just doing this to like get a couple dinks off and fall. And it's
And
just
scout.
creating pressure. Yeah, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
scouting, you're creating pressure. So
Okay.
at that point you fall back, and then you can even cross back over to mid, and then throw a smoke. Okay,
Right.
and the smoke that you want to throw is some. Oh, that was shit. Actually, that works. That was shit. You don't want to put any oomph
So if
into
you
it.
saw them pushing, you'd wrap quick, or even there, you'd wrap quick and then smoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to get this smoke off, especially because you saw them T-ramp. So chances of them coming up mid,
And
or
also
even
that plays as a warning for banana too, right?
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So at this point, you can sit here. Don't put any oomph really. Just release it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. So
As
it's
long
full.
as the smoke is up here, it's best for you because for these guys, they're not gonna want to commit to the.
Because as they're peeking the corner, you're
They're
still
in smoke.
protected. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And you'd
So
start to see them.
if it's deeper for you, because if it was here,
They can
kind of
still
deep,
peek corner. Yeah.
yeah, they still have. They're like, oh, it's a deep smoke. They're gonna feel ballsy to like commit to like aims like this, you know?
Yeah.
So you wanna make sure the smoke is deeper on your end, and then you could do gay shit like sit here and just wait,
Yeah.
using the smoke as cover, and just shoot anyone that comes boiler. Fall back fast. You could even have a player here with you, be like, hey, just spot and bait for me, you know?
Yeah.
And just sit here with the flash primed. And as soon as that guy starts shooting, you just throw a flash, stare at the wall.
I want to be able to pull that off so bad now. Okay.
And then come out. You know, it's
Yeah.
a pretty dope flash. They can't see it, so they cannot dodge it. It's like an instant pop flash. So these guys are generally going to be coming like this. There's just no way they can.
Because
dodge
if they saw someone in the corner, they're not assuming that there's going to be the two.
Yeah,
people
exactly.
Cool.
Come out and blast them. Let's see here. Let's see. I mean, you could even be a really good teammate and smoke off banana for your team. Come here, you aim here, because let's be real, B is harder to hold than A.
Right.
And A is easier to retake than B. So generally, all the resources will be thrown at banana instead of at A. Just because A is so much harder to hold. So it is the rap person's responsibility to throw away some utility towards the B players, right? So if you're playing and your B guys are like, you know, whatever, there's one banana, hey, you guys need a smoke at the entrance? Say, yeah. Just aim.
Team player, Kristen.
The banana and just release. And what this is going to do is smoke off.
My gun's bigger than yours.
For them.
That's really cool. Okay. Wow.
Another cool one is to smoke the end of B, which you just come to the corner, like you line yourself up with this wall, and just make a small crevice here between the blue roof and this roof. And I think you just aim here and just release. I haven't thrown that in a long time. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's the end.
So that might be good if you wanted to like split them up too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Oh my god.
Yeah, so as a rap player, you wanna be that guy that the guy that kind of helps out everywhere. So for instance, if you're playing rap and you get smoked out here, hey, they're up mid. You can run quickly to mini and just pop a flash for lane. That was a shit flash. Just pop a flash for lane, okay? And just say, I'm flashing your lane, or I'm flashing your truck side, or whatever you guys call it, right?
Yeah.
And then just throw a flash for them, delay it. Or if you're playing rap like this, it's like, oh shit, they're rapping me, you can run all the way towards site, pop a flash here, run back out, and then kill them all. So it's a pretty dope move. Or you can just, you know, be like, oh my god, they're rapping me hella fast, just throw a flash. That was a shit flash. You know, just use your utility.
Your angles. I think that's one thing that I need to start working on too, are flashes, pop flashes. Like that. Yeah. They're so important. Especially, like, my shooting skill isn't as strong. So, I think getting good at nades is something that I could rely on a little bit too. That's cool.
Yeah. And one thing is you always want to make sure that you keep in mind that nades, all utility, whether it be flashbangs, incendiaries, whatever, all this utility is just there to give you a slight edge. It's not there to win you the round, right? So you can't expect the flash to blind your opponent, you're only expecting the flash to give you an edge. So give you maybe confidence that they're going to be blind, give you confidence that they're going to dodge the flash. But if you go into a duel expecting your opponent to be blind and then you're frustrated that they're not blind, you're the only one that's losing that, you know? Like it's CS, like these flashes aren't going to blind shit, right? So it's just there to like purely utility, just not to win you the round, okay?
Cool.
Oh, another cool thing you can do actually is randomly, if you have an incinerary, you can come mid, just pop it off of mid, delay for like count 1, 2, and then swing out and use the molly to peek through mid.
As like your little smoke kind of effect. Yeah.
They can barely see you after about 2 seconds. They
can... wow! I actually didn't know it got thicker.
Yeah.
2 seconds?
Yeah, just count to like 2 seconds and then
because I remember I was always so frustrated when the molly would like block them, but I'm gonna use that now. That's cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially if you, because this is a huge investment, right? Because mollies are so expensive, especially on CT side, but it can definitely pay off, especially if you know that this team has been hanging around here, they've been hanging around here, like throwing a lot of nades at you or whatever, then just be like, fuck it, I'm not even gonna smoke this round, just throw an incinerate, wait for 2 seconds, then swing out and fucking blast them, you know? And then it's well worth the investment.
Yeah. Also, the CTs on the side are really dark too, so does that value blend also?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. Absolutely.
I actually like that. I want to use all these now. That's really cool.
And you can use that on any map too, not just on
Yeah. Oh my god. Team, are you gonna use that now? Potter, you're such a god. How many nades do you know, would you say? Could you count?
How many
do you know every nade on every competitive map?
I do actually.
How long has it taken for you to like learn all of them?
Quite a while, but actually I'm Asian, so I kind of have good memory, so it wasn't too hard.
You use it to your advantage.
It takes a lot of going into a server and nerding it up, and just perfecting it, because obviously with CS, res is different, crosshair size is different, your monitor and your hertz could be different. Like there's so many things that can affect where the lineup of your nade is. So yeah, it takes some practice. So although I showed you these smokes, it's still gonna take you going into a server and like
practicing.
Testing it out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, you're showing me that those are even there, so then now I can learn them. And then once I've learned them, I'll also know when they are popping on my side where they're coming from, which is good. So.
Yep.
Okay, can you help me a little bit with movement and aim? Hibby has a good point. This is what I'm not as good at.
Movement and aim. Okay, cool. So I would recommend, because for me, movement and aim, there's a lot of things that I could say, but well, actually there isn't really a lot of things I could say. It just, you're gonna want to go into I suggested 2 maps to Hibby, which was Fast Aim Reflex, which I really enjoy. It's basically a map where you're standing on a podium in the middle and like all these fucking bots are just coming at you with knives. So it's like scary as fuck and you have to kill them all. And it makes you like...
Wait, is that on ESCA or...
No. It's a workshop map.
Okay.
Yep. It's a workshop.
Workshop map. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's pretty dope because it makes you use your real estate here, but your mouse pad. Like a lot of times, when I was watching, it does. Your very small movements. Like
my sensitivity is really, really low.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. The only reason it's like that is because I have a hard time like being controlled at spraying. So if I have low sensitivity, then it's like less likely to go everywhere.
Yeah.
But
I mean that's okay. I have really high sensitivity, but yeah, I would go into the aim reflex map. And,
and what was the second server?
The real aims. So on the real aims, it's a workshop map as well. The reason I like that map is because you can pull up these boxes, and basically, I mean, maybe at the start of every stream when you're like talking to people or whatever, you could just like go hop into those workshop maps and just practice white peeking these bots. Like they just sit there, and you can have like boxes like come out, go behind a box and just like wide peek crouch spray, wide peek crouch spray, because and then I think that will really help you as long as you're willing to translate what you do on those servers into a real competitive match. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think those are two things that'll actually improve your skills. Like the wide peeking is something that I have no experience with. So
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, Potter. I really appreciate that. Maybe we can do this once in a while, and we'll slowly learn new maps with Potter because she's awesome and so good at this. But are you gonna be streaming now?